Welcome back, MTG Joe here, and today we are returning to CLEAVEland. So for those of you who've tuned into my channel for a while, you know I love this kind of mono-red aggressive deck in Historic Best of One. I've been a long-time proponent of the Chandra Static Discharge Rampaging Ferocidon package. This particular version is actually, and I made some slight tweaks, has been doing slightly better than my version based on Untapped. So it is a return to CLEAVEland. With Strict Proctor, kind of these control decks, there's been a shift back to more creature-based decks, less life gain. At least, like, the stats are still there that it's winning, but it's not showing up as much, and this very linear, aggressive deck is showing up. So it is kind of the old Torbran, Annex, Cleave type package. One card that I'm trying out in the main board is some copies of Rabbit Battery. Just as another way to give any of your late game creatures haste is really good. Gives you something that you can suit up post sweeper as well. So we have your Reckless Ringleaders as well as your Firebrands. No Ferocidons in this version. We're on the Annex, Bonecrusher, Chain Whirler, Torbran, and really with the mana base, all I did was add a Sokenzan, Crucible Defiance, just as a free spell. So let's give this one a shot, see how it plays out. Really, you lack kind of those hosers against the life gain deck, but you can just Annex your opponent and just, you know, here's my Annex, hit you for 14 on like turn 4, which is pretty good. Especially in this deck, you can also give it haste quite easily. One of the downsides with Annex is you have to wait a turn a lot of times to attack, so we'll see how this one compares to my usual take on it. I try to get like this deck out once a season just to see what's changed, what's new, what's good. This hand's actually pretty good because in an interactive deck we have removal, in an aggressive, if we need to be the aggressor, we have this as well. So this is likely Elves. Yep. So in the Elves matchup, you want to play to the board, but you need to control. So any other lords, Elvish Archdruid is the most impactful. This version's actually better against Elves because we have the Chain Whirler. So this is actually an interesting turn, and I think we just take them off the Lord again. This one's not as impactful. I'd rather ideally save it for the Archdruid, but I don't feel great with Ringleader, and it's more mana efficient. Yeah, because this lets him get a bunch of mana now. I mean, we are going to Embercleave next turn, and this is where in this matchup the Cleaves are better, so this is 10 power coming through. This basically goes free. If they're on the lookout, then they're usually not on Embercleave. They usually play the Fierce Empath if they're on Embercleave. Okay. See how they block here. I mean, if they don't block, I think we just 10-ball them. Okay, so if they get a Lord Undead, do they? They naturally draw a Lord. That's 3, 7, 10, 14, 19. If they Coco, I'm probably dead anyways. If they get one of their things to sink mana in, I'm dead anyways. The alternative is I play these out and cleave next turn when they don't know I have cleave. I think we still just do this, because I don't really want to re-equip. That's 3 mana. I could just bring these out. It lets me cleave next turn as well. Gives me a blocker. Nah. I came to cleave, people. There's certain cards I just can't beat in this position, so I don't think we can play around them. That is one of those cards. So they can give their team like +6. Oh, that's aggressive. That's Xaxis lethal. Jesus. We had to hope that they didn't draw one of those effects for a turn. They hit it, so good on them. They hit a land there, they hit just like Llanowar Elf, just any kind of dorky elf, we're okay. You know, Jespira Sentinel's not doing much on that board. Can probably keep this. We got plays for the first 2 turns. So we want to hold this back. We can shoot the Soul Warden. Find the Cleric class. I'm holding off here. I'm just never going to draw the 3rd land. The reason being, if I can hit this with Chain Whirler, I'd rather Chain Whirler their threat, because it leaves my Firebrand on the field. Resplendent Angel. Okay, so they're Angels, not Heliod combo. Black. Hey. So I can annex this turn, which does let me cleave. Can hold this for the following turn. Because even here, my Firebrand can kill that in a pinch. Probably dead to Coco. So Righteous Valkyrie comes down, gains them the life. They gain 2. Because I'm probably dead come the following turn if I don't cleave this turn, so... kind of forced into that. Do I cleave the token? Yeah, I cleave the token to take Righteous off the battlefield. Keeping Righteous off is correct, I think. Yikes. Okay, well that doesn't gain them life this turn. Next turn they could start gaining a bunch. $12. If I can keep their life low, and if I could draw a... Jesus. Yeah, now they just gain shit ton of life. Because now they gain 2 angels off this. And those gain them 6 life. Can't do that because that kills me. Yeah, this version. Without Ferocidon, it feels so much worse. Like an 18 here. Doesn't do enough. Opponent rips on those Cocos. It was right to take the Righteous off the board there. Let's give this one more go. And then honestly, I'm just going to switch to my version. Cleave's okay, we can add a couple cleaves to ours. We see there like the awkwardness with like Torbrand. Like 4 mana is a lot for what we're trying to do with this build. Opponent goes first. Arcanist, Graveyard combo. Reanimator. Okay, land. Land. We're gonna take Embercleave. Okay, Robber of Riches, then land. Yeah, that's actually not bad. I do need a land. There's 24 lands in this deck too. The stomp gets around... You fuck. They have the reanimation spell. This is like... Yeah, so next turn... We getting hit? Are you kidding me? How is this happening? Okay, this. Too many threes, not enough. Like, that hand is something you keep. That's just unusually unlucky. Our opponent hits 2 bone shards. We can't hit more than 2 lands. Because at turn 3 we play Annex and then they're dead. Because then even they kill the tokens and we have enough to Ember Cleave. Burning Tree would be nice here. Graveyard combo. Could be Greasefang. Yeah. Here. I'm actually gonna get Kari Zev going. It makes 2 tokens, so it's quicker to get the robber. Okay, so if they just naturally draw so they can't block the Menace. If they have Greasefang in hand, I can't do anything about it anyways, so let's play as though they don't. So they could Wellspring, get back that. Again. We aren't necessarily beating it right now. We're still at 20. Okay, so we hit a Greasefang, so it's 1 fewer they have. Now, even if they Parhelion, we can still get them potentially with the trample damage. Their life total is low enough here. Sentinels in the yard. They're digging. They don't really have like utility right now because they give me my Kari Zev back, which is good. Alright. Roberto-tron. Loot. Greasefang. Engineer. We're done here. We're done here. So, opponent had a really nice start, just couldn't find the last piece of their combo. Let's give this one more shake. Let's see if we can get back to plat 2. Like, the Torbrand lets you hit harder, but I don't know. So 4 toughness is decent against, like, 3 base damage removal. So we go first against a Yorion deck. Yorion deck, I think we need more pressure. So literally the same hand, just -1 card and no 1-drop. Two drop, 1-drop, 2-drop. They whatchamacallit? Sultai Ultimatum. This is where Roiling Vortex is nice. So I'm playing Annex because it'll leave some bodies behind. That's also annoying because it takes my cleave. And like here, these are useless in doubles, right? I guess with a land we can deal some damage, but this just incidentally 2-for-1'd us. Oath of Kaya, so they're doomed for told. Let's start getting some card advantage. I mean, if we could stick Vraska, it's not bad. This should be an easy matchup if we're on the other build. Land. Cool. Life total's tied, opponent's done nothing. They probably have sweepers, but I can't play around sweepers at this point of the game. I'll do it again. Even what would have been decent was finding a copy of... Like, this version's also only playing 2 Den of the Bugbear. Are you kidding me? Alright. What you got? Meat hook for 3? Crisis for 3. Do have Roberto. So Crisis comes back. They get a free block on my Robert anyways, so let's just do this. This is weaker to a sweeper, but can't really do much about it. Really what we want to try to do is just get their life total as low as possible. I think I'm going to hold this. The reason being, if I draw another creature, it's better. Like, it's not really providing much utility. I think same idea here. Have key. Any creature in our deck is good at this point. There we go. Bone Crusher. Target opponent discards 2 cards. I guess that we could have used this. I'm trying to catch them committing to the board, because the thing is, this wasn't lethal this turn. We are 1 point off, which is a bit unfortunate. Okay, Yorion to hand. Yorion blink. Yorion blink. Make them target. Okay, they go face. So I can attack with this, get to fairy. To fairy bounce Yorion. The fairy bounce Yorion doesn't sound great either.
Sorry I'm late.
Let's do this for the turn. We're dead to like whatever. I can't really do much here. Yeah, this one sucks. I don't like this version of the deck. I've always been against like this particular style, but
These are my terms.
feel it increasingly here. This should be an easy matchup. Like, they have some removal, but they playing claim the first. What? Oh, I guess off the key to the archive. So what are your conditions? Spells you cast cost less.
Only time
Yeah.
will tell.
This deck's overall not a fan of this version. If you want to see here, we'll play a game with the version I like. We'll make some changes. Like, too many weak cards in that version. So, cut you. We want some rabid batteries. Probably on a 3 vortex meta to play the batteries. You need card advantage. Embreth. We got the Sokuzan in there. Let's give this one a go. Historic. Mono red aggro. Alright, this hand looks sick. If this is auras, we're in a bad spot, but otherwise, against Arcanist, a Roiling Vortex on 2 is really good. Auras. try to erase them here. Go robber this turn because we can hit an enchantment. Ferocidon would be the best draw just because of the anti-life gain. Oh, here... They can't block with Menace. We're just going to play this. Controller life gain. Another land would be good, because then I could play out a robber as well as then have life link up on both turns. Light pause. With the first strike too, come on. So, what do we need? What do we need? What do we need? A stomp would be pretty good. Den's not bad. We're ahead on the life totals, so I think we're okay chilling. If we could get him low enough with like an alpha strike. They can make this really big. Ah, shit. And it's got Vigilant. Come on. That's how the day's going. It's how the day is going. They draw 2 here. Okay, we do have the Stomp. Stomp gets rid of one of these. I need to keep the life link off. Stomp, they block 4 power. I hit for 4. I'm still dead. Yeah, we needed this last turn. They only played one of those unblockable ones, and the fact that it hit. Aura's matchup's like a 50-50. You either hit your stuff when you need it, or you kind of stumble and die. It's the lifelink. We were able to control the lifelink fine. If we had Ferocidon, we'd be okay, because we wouldn't have to hold up the mana. Okay, this hand's good. Opponent goes first, no interaction, but hopefully this is a card that trumps the matchup. Don't see Luris, so we're okay. Could be the mirror. Start running out Roberts. This matchup can be tricky. Depends on how much they pop off. Ferocidon's decent because they make a lot of tokens, so we can ping some damage there. Okay, so Hardcast, Bone Crusher's fine. Static Discharge can get the Crusher out of the way, but I'd like to keep this for Harmonic Prodigy. Prodigy is always the kill on spot card. I can double block. Static Discharge that one. Need a land. You want to get them low enough where they can't really play out creatures. This is decent because I can block, pop, sack. Ping them for another. We're both kind of stumbling on mana. Okay, they got Forge here.
Candle's gonna set your world on fire. Aww,
just playing out blockers is good. Next turn I could double Robber. We don't want to trade here. I have 2 blockers. This can deal a point of damage here. So they can deal 2 to Chandra. They can deal... Okay, so now we're in trouble. We're in trouble! So if they're redirecting to Chandra, that's pretty good. Buys me a little bit of time. Hoping we draw land for one of these Roberts.
Hey, you better not.
Oh.
Party's over for you, pal.
That seems wrong. Okay, so let's see how this works. Should be lethal.
Let's bring things up to a simmer.
Should be lethal. Should have killed Chandra. Because they have, this has Menace, so they can block 2 things, or they block 1 and then they're dead. So they needed to put my life total low enough that I couldn't play out 2 creatures. Got him with exacts. With the exactsies. Alright, so I'm going to wrap this up. Kind of get a feel for 2 different versions of Mono Red. Like Frostodon's so good, but got a little unlucky in a couple games. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great one.